It's the nation's favourite antiques experts.
Perfect. Sold.
Behind the wheel of a classic car.
Lovely day for it.
And a goal to scar Britain for antiques.
Every home should have one of these.
The aim to make the biggest profit at auction. But it's no mean feat. Yes. There'll be worthy winners.
£9.50. You're going to make £1,000.
And valiant losers. No! Will it be the high road to glory?
Make me a big profit.
Or the slow road to disaster?
Are we stuck?
This is the Antiques Road Trip. Oh, yeah. Say hello to the Peak District, where our delightful companions are approaching Peak Road Trip.
This is it, Margie. This is our last hurrah.
I know.
Are you bored of me now?
Of course I'm not. How could I be bored with a young, handsome, intelligent man like you?
Hey, exactly. Got a very nice name too, Tim. And his chum at the wheel is the equally super-duper Margie Cooper.
And I'll be sad to see the car go as well.
He's not broken down.
Yeah, that is true.
He doesn't like hills.
Which is unfortunate, being called Sherpa and everything. Anyway, although peaks do lead to troughs, of course.
Oh, we're going down
We
forever.
are. I can go into second gear. Hallelujah.
Phew. Tim from Dorset is an auctioneer and a dealer with a fascination for history. Whoops! Whereas Cheshire's own Margie is a dealer with her eye very firmly on the price.
If he's cheap, I'm going to buy you.
And it was that shrewd donkey acquisition which made the difference at their penultimate auction.
You ordered at 60.
I knew it was the right thing to do.
Go with what you love, and that is donkeys.
They do make a funny noise, don't they?
Is that it?
Tim began with £200 and has thus far nudged that up towards £288.54. Whilst Margie, who started out with the same sum, is doing a little bit better with £339 and 4 pennies. Not that mere money will come between them, of course.
I've really enjoyed your company.
Oh, thanks, Margie. BFFs.
B what? What's that? BFS.
Best friends forever.
Oh.
How sweet! After kicking off in Cumbria and seeing the Scottish borders, our BFFs sailed through the Lake District towards the Isle of Man. Today's final flourish finds them in Derbyshire before journey's end in Rochdale.
We've become antique chums, Margie. Do you think we should get some matching tattoos? What do you think?
It wouldn't be the first time. On this final leg, our peek into the Peak District's antique shops begins in Bakewell. A delightful market town on the River Wye, where our pair are going to be shopping together.
Are you excited?
I'm excited.
We can tell Tim.
There's no need to run.
He wants first dibs. But there's plenty of stuff for both of you here at Lead Tin Yellow.
I like those.
And with the last auction looming, every decision counts.
Oh, I love Bible boxes. Look at that one. And it's a whole stack of them as well. If you think back to the 17th, 18th century, a Bible would have been such a precious thing to have owned. And quite often, the only book a whole family would own would be the Bible. And you would have its own very special box. This one here, I would say, dates to nearing the end of the 17th century. So we're talking around the reign of Charles II in the 1680s. And that, to me, is absolutely incredible that you can handle a piece of beautiful woodwork like that from that sort of period.
It would also serve as a portable lectern.
This one's priced at £255, which, in my view, is a real bargain for what you're getting because it's a useful box, but it's also packed with history as well. A little bit much for me at this stage, but I do love that.
A man can dream. But what about Margie? Anything taken her fancy?
Ah, I don't even have to look at the bottom of these to know who designed these. There was a silversmith called Stuart Devlin. He was from Australia and he is very, very well known and extremely collectible. But during the 60s, he came to England and he worked for a company called Viners, and they make loads of cutlery. So actually, this is stainless steel and a sort of textured metal stand. But if these were Stuart Devlin silver, those 6 would be £1,000. These are 100 quid, which is still rather nice. And nobody would know, actually, if you're drinking out of it, that it wasn't the real thing.
Very smart. But at that price, probably not one for the auction. What else can you find?
Oh, I love that. What a lovely little crested jug. And I think that that is the motto for Winchester College Public School. And I think it stands for manners maketh the man. That's what that motto stands for. There's no damage. It's probably 60, 70 years old. It's half transfer printed, but it's also hand painted, which makes it nice.
And the £22 price tag's not bad either.
I'm having it.
That was quick.
What's that over there?
And where you going, Tim?
That's quite nice. Seen the price straight away, £48, which at an immediate glance doesn't seem an awful lot for a nice little bit of furniture. It's got a nice top here with carved thistles and what look like potentially roses and acorns all the way round. But the base, it's based on a sort of Moorish or Moroccan table. So it's a bit of a mismatch. I would say it probably dates to the turn of the century, around 1900. So we're talking about a proper antique piece of furniture. And I think people are unkind to think that brown furniture isn't popular, because actually there is a resurgence in people buying furniture because it is green, it's useful. And I think the great thing about antique furniture is because it's so well made, all handmade, it's so solid that it's not going to fall apart. And at £48, I could see with the interesting design of this that it would do quite well in an auction. So quite keen on that one. I think if I can do a bit of negotiation on that, that might be one to take.
We're all busy in Bakewell.
Right, this is a fine specimen. Look great in your garden. Look at this.
Oh, what are you pumping there?
I'm trying to get some water out of this village water pump.
Pumping some profit.
Or we can have a garden spray.
I'm just going to take that bucket of profit. I'm going.
Get out of here.
That's one way to get rid of pests.
What's this little thingy? Look at that. Isn't that dinky? It's a little Victorian brass coal scuttle, but it's obviously miniature. And you might think that straight away that might be a doll's house coal scuttle, but I think it's a novelty sugar bowl. And it's absolutely lovely. I've never ever seen one of these before. Date-wise, I'd say it's probably late 19th century, late Victorian period, around 1900.
Very sweet, but what's its chances at auction, Tim?
Novelties have always been popular, especially when it comes to antiques. People love little knickknacks they can put in cabinets or own. And also, I think in the antique world, people like something that makes them smile. It's priced at £18, which to me doesn't seem an awful lot. And I could see that making a bit more than that in an auction.
He's convinced. Brenda will be the woman to do business with.
Brenda? Oh, hello.
Hello.
I've found these two rather nice little things.
Okay.
This nice card table and
Yeah.
this little coal scuttle. So now, price-wise, they come to £66 for the two. I would love to pay 50 for the two. Is that doable, do you think?
Yes, £50
Yeah.
fine.
Thank you very much, Brenda.
Super. 32 for the table and 18 for the sugar bowl.
Thanks very much.
Bye.
But while Tim departs with 238 in his pocket, Margie's got that cream jug reserved and her eye on something else.
Ah, what's this? Oh, that's cute, isn't it? Miniature candlestick. Obviously, the old days you go to bed with one of these. There's your snuffer. So when you get upstairs and you get into bed, snuff the candle. Now this is Sheffield plate, which is silver laid on copper, which is quite desirable, quite collectible. It's a nice thing. It's a bit risky, but it's very me, isn't it?
Oh, it is. £65 is the price on that.
You can see the copper bleeding through, which is a good sign. And the actual sconce is still intact. I'm not sure it's that old, but I like it, and I think I just might have a go at that.
Gird your loins then. There's a deal in the offing.
Ah, Brenda, you look busy.
Oh, hello.
Right, I found two things.
Okay.
The jug's fine at 22. Love that. If you could ease that, I'll have the two.
I can do that for 45.
So that makes 67.
Yeah, that's fine.
Great.
Nice one, Brenda. £67 paid, leaving Margie with £272. But while she loads up her booty and heads off to the next shop, Tim, with the table in tow, is still exploring Bakewell, the capital of the Peak District, for at least two very good reasons.
Ah, the Bakewell tart shop. Wow, look at all these. They're tarts and puddings. I wonder what the difference is.
Everyone does.
Hello.
Oh, hi,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm very well, but a little bit peckish.
Oh, yeah. pudding or tart?
Now, I can't decide which one to take, so I think because I'm sharing with Margie, I'll take them both.
That's tea sorted then. Now, the Bakewell tart, of course, is world famous, but Bakewell pudding is apparently a bit more authentic. So, to get to the bottom of the matter, Tim's come to the Old House Museum,
Hello, you must be Trevor.
I am.
where local historian Trevor Brighton can help.
I've heard you're the expert in Bakewell puddings and tarts. And I've got two of them here. I've got a tart and a pudding, and I want to know what the difference is.
The Bakewell pudding is the older of the two and goes back into medieval times in various forms. It's made up of butter, sugar and eggs on rough puff pastry. The Bakewell tart is a derivative from it, made on short pastry. That emerged really as an offshoot of the Bakewell pudding because some of the ingredients were similar.
When was the pudding invented then?
People were making this for centuries before it eventually became located here. And what made the Bakewell pudding established at Bakewell was none other than the proprietress of the Rutland Arms, Mrs. Anne Greaves.
In the early 1800s, with tourism a burgeoning pastime amongst the upper crust, this coaching inn became a popular stopping-off point for weary travellers. Mrs. Greaves's delicious puddings gained quite the reputation with visitors from far afield and became tourist attractions in their own right.
In 1863, when the railways came here and the coaching trade declined, tourists flocked in for the Bakewell show and so on, and most people wanted a meal which incorporated a Bakewell pudding.
Soon the popularity of this pudding spread. The celebrated Victorian cookery book author Mrs. Beeton included it in her best-selling 1861 book of household management. And with the pudding having put the town on the map, others wanted a slice of the action.
One or two other proprietors in the town thought, well, there's no patent on this, and the newly formed original pudding shop in the 19th century got hold of Mrs. Greaves' recipe, and they started to produce it, and they sold it in larger numbers than she could make for the banquets.
And nowadays, hungry visitors have plenty of choice when it comes to purchasing their bud or its younger but more famous sibling.
What does the pudding and the tart mean to the area now?
You ask anyone around the world now about Bakewell, and the first thing they talk about is not the pudding, it's the tart, because the tart has gone out to all points of the globe. The pudding gets around the world too, but people can't understand why it's called a pudding. It looks like a flan.
It seems some things will remain a mystery. But of course, the proof, as they always say, is in the eating.
My mouth is watering looking at this, so
You go.
I'm going to go for the tart because I know the pudding really needs to be heated up.
I think he likes it.
You're going to eat the whole of that, are you? Like, take a knife and cut it into sections and share it round.
Tim,
Oh, sorry.
really?
I've got two. Do you want the other one?
Eaten in the good old-fashioned style.
Like an animal.
Meanwhile, Margie's now elsewhere in the Dales, intent on staying one step ahead.
I thought this morning that Tim was looking a bit serious. His little brow was furrowed every now and then. We're on the last leg, and he's only £50 behind me. And it's all to play. Oopsie daisy.
Yes, she doesn't want any last-minute mishaps. So expect Cooper Caution in Buxton, where they have a very nice opera house, not to mention antique shops. And here comes our diva now. She means business.
Hello.
Hello.
And that's Heather, the woman in charge here at Symposium Antiques, where Margie has £272 to spend.
It's a good old antique piece, isn't it? Look at that. Copper. Sit down. Probably about 1870. Been round the block a bit, this. But it was copper foot warmer. So you fill it with hot water and you get in your coach, would be as drafty as heck. And you put your little feet on this. I mean, how good is that?
The way to travel.
It's got a nice screw top, which is still with us.
So when you think this has been around for probably 140 years, it's quite amazing, isn't it? And the price is £20. So it's not bad for an antique, is it? 140 years old. Who's your customer? Who's going to buy it? That's the thing.
Good point.
Very nice indeed.
But no sale. Plenty more to see in here, though.
Oh, a little set of, well, Victorian postal scales. So that's how you measured your letters. You put the weight on. You couldn't have anything that weighed more than 4 ounces on it, because 4 ounces is quite a heavy weight, isn't it? So you put your letter on and you put your measure on, and then they'd tell you how much it cost you to post it. So it's as simple as that. They're quite common. This is a brass one. I can't see a price anywhere.
Nope, no price.
But it's got a bit of age. Yeah, it looked great cleaned up. Shame some of the weights are missing, but yeah, that's a thought. That might be something to add to my little cache of purchases.
Let's see if we can find some more.
Got an old plane.
Not a plane, then.
Ah, good old spirit level. Now, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? You know, to go to the trouble of making something that is so useful and to make it look really attractive. And of course, in the middle there, you've got your bubble. And let's see if it's working. And there's your bubble. Bang on in the middle.
No price on that either.
I'm going to ask how much.
Here we go.
Heather,
Hello.
seen the scales, so how much are they?
They're 10.
Right, done. And this little chap,
15, my love.
right, so that's 25.
Yes, super.
That'll be a deal then. And with £247 left at the end of the day, time to pick up her BFF. Now, had any more thoughts about your potential tats?
If we were going to get matching tattoos, Margie, what do you reckon it would be?
I know what I'm having, I don't know about
It was going to
you.
be a donkey,
Yeah,
isn't it?
with great big ears. What are you having?
Matching tattoos, Margie? Nighty-night. Next day begins with a taste of Bakewell.
Lovely, isn't it?
Absolutely delicious. Can I wrap it in a serviette and take it home with me?
I would be very upset if you don't take another bite.
Bossy, isn't he? Tim didn't just stock up on snacks yesterday, he also acquired a Moorish table and a miniature coal scuttle,
Isn't that dinky?
leaving him with £238 to spend today. While Margie plumped for a miniature candlestick, some postal scales, a spirit level, and a cream jug.
I'm having it.
Meaning she has £247 left, not to mention a fair amount of tasty pastry to polish off.
3 cheers for Bakewell.
3
Park.
cheers for Bakewell.
Hip, hip,
Hooray!
hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray!
I think they're having a sugar rush. Their absolutely final day for shopping starts in Stockport, the first proper inner-city destination of their trip, and home to the Vintage Emporium, where Margie's going solo, having just been dropped off by her buddy. And that'll be shopkeeper Jess.
Hello.
Hi.
Gonna have a look round.
Good plan. There's certainly plenty to see in this former textile mill.
Ah, that's interesting. That's a Victorian hat stretching block. We're in Stockport, and the Manchester area was well known for making hats.
She's right. Stockport even boasts a hatting museum.
And this works very simply. This is probably about 1880. You just put the hat on and you can stretch it to the size of hat you want. And it's worn out now, but all the measurements would be there. So it's a simple technique, but it's a really nice thing, isn't it?
But at £295, you'll have to knock that on the head. Now, let's catch up with Tim. Just arriving at his first shop of the day. A few miles closer to the centre of Manchester, at Levenshume, once the home of Arthur Lowe, TV's Captain Mannering, where, in the former town hall, they now have an antiques village. Captain Tim still has £238 to spend, remember. Gore, big, isn't it? But whatever you do, don't panic!
Oh, these are really smart. Look at those. These are church offering baskets. And you would walk up and down the pew holding these out, asking for the money. I really love everything to do with church architecture and interiors. And you can just imagine the sort of church that these would have been in. Now, I don't think I'll buy these for an auction. They're quite a niche thing, even though they're very collectible. But right now I'm thinking, anybody want to give me some money?
Now, remember what we said about panicking, Tim. Head down, full steam ahead.
The thing is with places like this is you can cram it full.
And they have! Ooh, bet you're regretting eating that entire Bakewell now. Oh, steady. I think he's got something in his sights.
Isn't that charming? Look, it's a whole Noah's Ark with all the animals. These toys started out fashion-wise in the 19th century. You weren't allowed to play with toys on Sunday, but maybe you get away with playing with the Noah's Ark because it's a Bible story, isn't it? Date-wise, I think it's probably early 20th century, maybe up to something like the 1930s. I never had a Noah's Ark when I was a kid. I'd have liked one. I had a pirate ship. Not quite the same.
No, quite different, really. No price on that.
With how well these do in auction, I think it might have legs, depending on price.
I'd say it has an awful lot of legs. Very promising. Now, what about back in Stockport, where Margie hasn't quite taken the plunge yet either?
Oh, woodworking tools. Now, I bought a spirit level, which I'm a bit worried about. I don't think it's going to make it on its own. That's a nice one. So I think that's what you call a spoke shave. So I think I might buy that. And you know what I like about these? This has got somebody's name on it. And this chap is called H. Redstill. So I bet he was called Harry. It's £10 and I can put it with my spirit level.
She's making a little toolkit.
Oh, I like the look of this.
What's she spotted now?
Ah. Oh my goodness, look at that. It's a gong on an oak plaque. And what a cracking little dog that is. But it's Edwardian, so it's been in somebody's house. Can you imagine it, in the hall of a house? Just notice he's in his kennel, look. He's in his kennel peeping out.
£70 for the dog gong.
Look at his little face. Oh, I love it. I don't care if it bombs. I'm having it.
Crikey, Margie, we'd better have a word then.
Right, Jess. Found two things.
Fab.
Right, spoke shave's fine, £10. But I want to take that dog home with me, but it's a bit dear.
Best price, 55.
Well, you know what I'm going to say. Go on, round it off. 60 for the two.
60 for the two. We'll do
Thank
that,
you.
no problem.
Nicely done.
And off we go, and thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
So, having made her very last buys of this trip, Margie exits with £187 left over, while we resume in Levenshulme, where Tim's parked the Ark. Anything else? You know, 2x2.
Now, if you looked at that, you wouldn't necessarily think it might be 18th century, but this dates to around, I would say, 1780. So we're talking about near on 250 years old. Isn't that incredible? And this is known as Leeds creamware pottery. But what's wonderful about Leeds creamware is how fine it is. You've got little flowers, you've got little hearts. Look at those little heart motifs. Look at the decoration. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, also known as Leedsware. It was a big rival of Wedgwood.
To me, what this is about is Georgian quality and the fact that you can go into an antique shop and buy something that's 250 years old. Could this thing be what it takes to beat Margie?
I wonder. No price on that either. So let's go talk to Jeff, who's holding the fort today.
Hi, Jeff. How are you doing?
Hi. Not bad. How are you?
Very well. I've found two charming things I like. Firstly, the lovely quality creamware basket, and you've also got the Noah's Ark. What do you think on prices?
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. The Noah's Ark, 120.
120. Okay. What about the Leeds?
I'll do it you for 70.
I'll take them both. Thanks very much, Jeff.
Great, thank you.
190 slap down,
That's great. I hope you do well with it.
Thank you very much.
leaving Tim poorer, but hopefully happier. £48 in pocket and one shop to go. All of which Margie is blissfully unaware of as she takes a stroll in a nearby botanical garden, just a few miles away as the crow flies in Didsbury. She's here to find out about an incredible Victorian environmental campaigner from Emma Marsh of the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds.
Emma,
Hi, welcome to Fletcher Moss Park.
thank you very much.
And this is the very park where 140 years ago, Emily Williamson changed the face of bird and wildlife conservation forever.
The co-founder of Europe's largest conservation charity was a middle-class housewife who once held a very important tea party in this Didsbury house.
So this is the croft. So Emily Bateson was born in 1855.
Yes.
And she moved here from Lancaster when she married her husband, Robert.
Right.
And this is where she campaigned about stopping the plumage trade.
So what is the plumage trade?
Well, the plumage trade is a very lucrative trade in feathers. It was incredibly fashionable at the time for women to wear hats with elaborate feather decoration.
Yeah.
So it would be big feathers, it would be wings of birds, it would even be whole taxidermied birds stuck on the top of a lady's head.
A whole bird?
Yes, and if you're wondering how sustainable that is, it's not. In fact, it was absolutely disastrous for populations of birds at the time.
It's been estimated that over 60 bird species were taken to the brink of extinction by the fashion for feathers. Amongst them, the little egret, the great crested grebe and the bird of paradise. And when the ornithology organisations of the day wouldn't wade into the argument, Emily took up the cause herself. Her solution, a very modern one: consumer power.
So the year is 1889. Emily Williamson has had enough, and so she calls together all of her friends and organises a tea party.
Yes.
So over a cup of tea, a slice of cake, she asks them to make a pledge to wear no feathers.
So was it such an inconvenience not to have a feather in your hat?
So for the ladies of the day, it was incredibly important. Anyone who was anyone would have these feathers, these birds in their hair. It's how you made a statement about how fashionable you were. And so for those ladies to turn around and say, no, we shan't be doing that, was a huge thing for them. And in effect, after that tea party, that's when the Society for the Protection of Birds was formed.
Emily's society soon inspired others. Margarita Lemon, a member of the fur, fin and feather folk, petitioned that group to take up the cause. The two organisations combined forces in 1891, using peaceful protest to get their message across. And slowly, over many years, public opinion began to change.
So in 1899,
Yes.
Queen Victoria actually banned putting plumes into certain military regiments' hats, which was massive at the time because they were so popular. And in 1904, they managed to get a royal charter and hence put the R in the RSPB. And after 30 years of campaigning, in 1921, the Plumage Act came into force.
So all this went on in the space of 30
It
years.
took 30 years, but they did it. It didn't stop anyone from wearing it, but it stopped it being imported.
Yeah.
And when you think that some feathers were twice as expensive as gold at the time, it was that lucrative. So this was an incredible achievement that they did.
Over 130 years after the historic Tea Party, Emily Williamson is to be honoured with a life-size statue which will soon stand in the park outside.
Oh, she'd be thrilled with that, wouldn't she?
She really would.
Although Emily's real legacy is, of course, the charity she founded, so Margie and Emma have come to Burton Mere,
Gosh, what a great place.
one of the 220 reserves which the RSPB manages in the UK.
So what are we going to see?
So we've got a really good range out there. We've got the black-headed gulls, we've got mallards, we've got geese out there, and little egret, and that's one of the birds which went almost to extinction. And so a bird that Emily Williamson helped protect actually is now flourishing across our reserves.
And thanks to Emily, the fight to protect our feathered friends continues. Now, let's have a drone's eye view of where Tim's got to, with just one more opportunity to buy.
Last shop of the road trip for me. I've got to make it count. Deep breaths, positive thoughts. Now I've got some nice items already, but there's a £50 gap, and I need something that's going to really fly away.
Fingers crossed he finds it, after pointing the Sherpa towards Poynton on the Cheshire Plain. Grrr. Here he comes, at Art and Antiques, with a whole £48.54 to spend.
Head,
Tim.
Hello, Ed.
How are you doing?
How are you? I'm very well. How are you?
Yeah, good to see you.
I can see you've got some wonderful, wonderful paintings.
Yeah, we do all the artwork, and then the other side is the antiques.
Well, this is definitely more me.
Let the rummage commence.
Straight away, you can see Ed has got an amazing taste in a variety of objects, from naive folk art to fine quality antiques as well. This is exactly what you want when you're in the world of antiques. You want a cabinet that you can get absorbed in, and it's full of little small objects. I'm a big fan of little cabinet pieces that hold lots of history.
Anything take your fancy?
These are lovely, these little miniature shoes here. And this one here has caught my eye. This is carved out of slate, and a lot of these little slate objects originated from Wales. Could have even been carved by one of the slate miners in the 19th century. And it's classed as Welsh folk art. And quite often you find miniature chest of drawers, miniature bureaus, or little desk ornaments like this shoe. And I would imagine it's probably something like a little quill or pen holder to have on your desk. So that is an absolute little charmer.
Yeah, isn't it? No price, though.
Now up here I've spotted some miniature copper and brassware, and it reminds me of my little coal scuttle that I bought earlier. So this is a Victorian set of miniature bellows, and this cap at the end here, where obviously the air would have come out, unscrews, and I wonder if that was a little hot water bottle or hand warmer. But it's so sweet and miniature, isn't it?
No ticket on that either. Out else?
A little milk churn. This would have been a Vesta case, so you would have had your matches in the top of the milk churn, and then there's a striker on the front where you would have struck your match. That's very nice as well. Again, Victorian, second half of the 19th century.
And unpriced again. Which is it to be?
I sort of like the idea of maybe buying 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, depending on price, to put with my coal scuttle and have a little miniature lot.
Hey, you only have £48.54 left.
Ed.
Yes, Tim.
I quite like this little Welsh slate pen stand. I mean, there's no price on it. Can I make you an offer?
Go for it.
Would £25 do it?
Go on then. 25.
Yeah, is that all right? Okay, Ed, that is a deal on the shoe.
I'll do you that, Tim.
Now, I have £23.54 left.
Okay.
And I've seen some miniature copper and brassware here.
Yeah.
Could I take the churn and the bellows?
Let's do it.
Bingo!
Right, Ed, thank you very much. I'll take all of those.
Smash him.
I'll pop the money here for you.
Every last penny.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem, Tim. Nice to see you, mate.
See you again soon.
Now, he's just got to go and collect his chum and reflect upon the trip they've enjoyed.
What's been your highlight, do you think?
Just being with you.
Oh, Margie. We're chums for life now, Margie. 100%. It's been an amazing trip.
Filling up now.
Oh, Margie.
What a lovely couple, eh? Time for some shut-eye. It's auction viewing day at the Ellen Road Steam Museum. And here come our steampunks now.
This is classic Victorian Industrial Revolution, isn't it?
It is.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, let's go.
Right.
All fired up. After starting out amongst the peaks, our pair headed north and west towards Greater Manchester and finally Rochdale, while their purchases have been dispatched to Bourne End Auctions in Bucks. Selling on the net and on the phone, auctioneer Hugo Lemon.
60 I've taken 5 at £60.
Margie parted with just £152 on her 5 auction lots.
The Bulldog Dinner Gong, I really love this piece. It's got dogs related to it and therefore should be popular today.
Tim splashed all he had, £288.54 for his 5 auction lots. Favourite, Hugo?
The creamware chestnut basket, unusual, amazing that it survived really so well. Good decorative piece.
The pistons have paused while the auction hammer takes over.
It's huge. Well, this is a great finish to our
Certainly
road
is.
trip, isn't it?
Certainly
In
is.
these amazing surroundings.
Yeah.
And the last auction of our whole trip.
It's always nerve-wracking, isn't
It
it?
is. I think you might get this one.
Well, I hope you're right. So here goes.
Tablets at the ready? Let's begin with Tim's boorish table.
It was quite unusual.
Yeah, very clean as well.
Yeah, very clean and tidy. Very usable now as well.
Yeah,
Not, is
you're
it?
going to double up, aren't you?
Do you think? Agreed.
£50 then to start.
Oh,
30 then to start.
I thought that was a bid then.
30.
Oh, that's worth £30.
20 to get away.
Oh, no.
I bid thank you and 2 I'll take it. £20 I have and 2 I'll take it. 20, 22, 25, 25.
It's going now, good.
And 30.
I didn't think this would struggle.
2, 35. Lovely colour there, £35 there. Nice, useful table there at £35.
He's trying. He is trying hard.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
no.
A modest profit, but not quite what he was hoping for.
He did try hard, bless him.
He did.
Margie's turn. Her little Winchester cream jug.
I like anything with a crest on it.
So
It
do I.
adds a bit of interest to it.
It certainly does.
20 I'm bid, thank you, and
Ooh,
2, 22,
good.
25, 25, 27, 27 I'm bid, 30 now I have, 30 and 2.
You've done it again.
All out online there at £30, all done then at 30. Last chance then at 30.
Perfectly nice profit there, Margie.
Way, well
Way.
done. Very good.
Great stuff.
Not bad.
From crested ware to cream ware, Tim's Leeds pottery basket.
Hey, I think you're in with a chance here, kiddo.
I'm glad you like it, Mark.
I do like it very, very much.
£50 for it. 55, 65,
Ooh.
75, 85 I'm bid. 90 and 5 and 5, 100, 110. 10 I'm now bid.
Well
10,
spotted.
120,
Oh, fantastic.
South Africa at 120, all done then at 120.
That was the 50 you needed to catch up, Tim.
Your knowledge paid off.
Thank you, Margie. I'm so pleased with that. I'm
Well
bidding,
done.
isn't it?
A Margie classic now, her Sheffield plated candlestick and snuffer.
So we'll see what happens to this.
It'll light up the auction, Margie.
Do you think it will?
Hopefully it doesn't snuff it.
£50, 30 then to start. 30, 25 then. £25 I'm bid, 25 and 27 I'll take.
We've got a little way to go here.
At £30 I'm bid and 2. At £30 I'm bid and 2 I'll take it. £30, 32, 35.
Getting there, Margie. Bit by bit.
£35 and £35. All done at 35. Last chance at 35.
We don't often get Margie and loss in the same sentence, do we?
I'm sorry, Margie.
So am
That was
I.
a nice little thing. That.
It was.
Time for Tim's tiny slate shoe to step up.
This is the sort of thing I'd buy for myself. So I like it.
Oh, I think that's a really good buy.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
£20 for it. 20 straight in and 20 and 2,
Oh, good.
22, 25, 25, 27 now, 27 and 30.
27. Oh, he's got more to go. Come on.
At £27 and at £27 at 27. All done at 27.
Oh, no.
Last chance.
Crikey, kicked with his own shoe.
If I went to an auction, I'd pick that for £27. I'd be really happy.
I know.
Yeah.
Margie's inexpensively purchased tool set is up next.
I bought a little old level once because I thought, I don't want a new one. I like to buy everything antique if I can.
Yeah.
And then we started hanging some pictures.
And the bubbles.
And they were all like that. It's true, it's true. So I had to move it on.
Oh, gosh.
£30. £30. 20 then to start. At £20 I'm bidding, 2 I'll take it.
stick
£20 and
in.
at 20, all done and make
Oh, no, a little
22,
bit more.
22, nick of time, 22, 25, 25, 27.
Lucky.
At £27 and at £27 I will sell at 27 and at 27 all done at 27.
Well, at least they're gone.
A small profit. And like those tools, I think the scores are about level.
It got you out of trouble.
Yeah, it did get me out of trouble. At least they sold.
Tim's bundle of brass miniatures now.
Oh, these are really
Isn't that
nice.
lovely?
30 I'm bid, thank you, and 2 at £30 I have, and 2 I'll take at £30 I'm bid. At £30 I'm bid, and 2 at £30 and at 30, surely.
Oh, no.
32, 32,
Oh,
32,
someone else has come in.
35, 37, 37 and 40. At 37 then are you sure? At 37 then I'll sell then at 37.
Oh, cracky.
Bad luck, Tim. Don't be brassed off, mate.
Poor you.
I lost a couple of
You've
pounds.
not been lucky today, have
I
you?
could do with losing a couple of pounds.
Same. Why not use Margie's postal scales?
I like those. And they're nice Victorian ones as well, aren't they?
Yep, they're old. Come on, my postal scales.
With the little weights as well there, £20. 20 straight in and 2.
You've doubled your money already, Margie.
25. At £25 I'm bid, 27 I'll take. At 25, are you all done? 27 I'll take. All done at 25.
A very nice profit, much more like Margie.
Could I expect any more?
Brilliant stuff. I thought they would make £20, £30, so that's brilliant.
What is this?
Tim's Ark. Who's going to be coveting it, we wonder?
This is quite cute, though.
Is it
because-
sort of like homemade?
Don't be so rude.
Got commission bids on this one, so stop, yeah. £40. 40 I'm bid, thank you, and 2. 42, 45.
No, it's going, it's going.
47 and
Ooh.
50, 50 and 5 I'm bid. At £55 I'm bid.
It's going up
60
quickly.
I'll take. And 60, 60, 60 and 5, and 70, 70 and 5, and 80, 80 and 5.
Well
and
done.
5, and 90 anywhere at £85, and at 85 all done then at 85.
Oh, crumbs.
It was a bold move, Tim.
That could have gone either way, and unfortunately it didn't go my
But I
way.
think you're
did
very
it?
brave to have done that.
Thank you.
And it's different.
Let's just forget about that one.
Final lot, and victory or defeat hangs on this fella. Let's hope he's a good boy.
He's coming out of his kennel.
That's amazing. I really like
It
that.
makes me laugh looking at it.
Yeah, well, I've always said if something makes you laugh, you have to buy it.
50 then to start. 50 I'm bid, thank you, and 5, and 60, 60 and 5, and 5, and 70, 70
Margie,
and
it's going to
5.
fly.
Unusual on there. 75, 80, 80 and 5, and 90 and 5.
Gosh, my little dog.
100,
Off.
110. Unusual piece there at 120, then at 120, then I will sell then at 120.
Margie, well done.
20.
Woof, woof. Best in show.
That was amazing.
Oh,
well
I'm really
done,
pleased. I loved it. It's my favourite of the whole trip.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
It
I
is
haven't held
my
it in person.
favourite of the whole trip.
I think I would have loved that in person as well.
Yeah,
It looked
was.
amazing. I loved it. Well done. What a result.
Tim began with £288.54, and after auction costs, he made a bit of a loss. So he ends up with £249.28. While Margie, who started out with £339.04, made, also after costs, even more profits, which means she wins both the day and the week with £381.38. All profits go to children in need.
We've had a wonderful time.
We have. Thank you so much for one of
And
the
you
most
too.
amazing trips.
Likewise.
It's been incredible.
Yeah, it's sad, isn't it, when it comes to an end?
I know.
I'm going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you as well.
And I'm going to miss you both. Even if sometimes things didn't entirely go to plan. Oh dear, what are they like?
Then I'll leave you to all the good stuff up there.
Yeah, that's a jolly good idea.
You've still got your indicator on.
I've what?
Indicator.
I've what?
Indicator!
Oh!
Right, okay.
Oh!
Oh, look at this.
Next week, we have a new face on the road trip.
Now this is it. Your road trip adventure starts here.
Fantastic.
Rookie Mark Hill
Ooh, hello.
is taking on old hand Rue Irvin.
I know it's painful.
But who will come out on top?
Oh!
Wow!